Have you ever failed so terribly that you didn't want to get out of bed? Sometimes everything falls apart at the same time, leaving you unsure of what to do next. But if you're currently banging your head against the wall in frustration, just know that the famous failures on this list had some bumps in the road too. And if they could figure stuff out, turn their lives around, and go on to become some of the greatest successes in history, so can you. Welcome to Pin Genius, where you explore, experience and learn. If you have visited our channel for first time, make sure you subscribe and stay connected. It's hard to believe, but J.K. Rowling, the author and creator of Harry Potter, has enough failures under her belt to make it onto this list of famous failures. Before Harry Potter was ever published, Rowling was on welfare while unemployed and divorced. It was during this time that she jotted down the idea of Harry Potter on a napkin. But she needed to bring her idea to life. So she wrote her first Harry Potter book. And it was rejected by 12 publishers. Despite the rejections, J.K. Rowling went on to publish that book and 6 more after that. She's the 9th best-selling fiction author, selling over 500 million copies of her books. The entire Harry Potter franchise alone is worth $25 billion. Her books have been turned into movies. Her characters have been added to merchandise. Today, her net worth is believed to be around $650 million. The greatest lesson in this famous failure is to execute on your ideas. Lots of people scribble ideas into journals or napkins, but they never do anything about it. Rowling did something about it. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times, I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. This quote by retired basketball legend Michael Jordan in a Nike advertisement speaks for itself. It would be an easy misconception that Jordan's basketball skills revolve around natural talent. In fact, in his earlier years, basketball coaches had trouble looking past the fact that Jordan didn't reach the minimum height. It was years of effort, practice, and failure that made the star we know today. Bill Gates, one of the world's wealthiest men now, struggled to find his niche early on. He started Trafo Data, a business that created reports for roadway engineers from raw traffic data, with 2 other businessmen. The company did achieve a measure of success by generating some income, but allegedly the machine they had built to process the data tanked when they tried to present it to a Seattle County traffic employee. However, skill and a passion for computer programming turned this failure into the pioneer of famous software company Microsoft, and the then 31-year-old into the world's youngest self-made billionaire. Oprah was born into working-class poverty. She was the daughter of a teenage low-income mother and was pregnant at 14. Her son died shortly after birth. Even after she scored a job in journalism, things weren't always easy. One of her first jobs in TV ended abruptly after the producer declared she was unfit for television. However, that same producer went on to offer her a role on another television show called People Are Talking. That show ended up becoming a huge success. This eventually led to Oprah become the host of her own show, which aired for 25 years. And today, she owns her own television network called OWN. Her net worth is estimated at $4 billion, putting her on the list of the top 500 richest people in the world. Famous failures like Oprah's teach you that it doesn't matter where you start. As long as you work hard and don't give up, you can continue to achieve bigger successes. It's never too late to start a fast food empire. Just look at Colonel Sanders. It wasn't until the age of 62 that Sanders, with a $105 Social Security check in hand, pitched his chicken recipe to restaurants. According to reports, some 1,009 people rejected him. Instead of giving up, he hit the road and began trying to sell his franchise model chicken restaurant, eventually finding success with a restaurant outside of Utah. It became the first Kentucky Fried Chicken, and the restaurant tripled sales in a year, mostly from the Colonel's chicken. Whether you're a horror fan or not, there's no denying the success of Stephen King. But it wasn't always this way. One of his most successful books, Carrie, was rejected by 30 publishers, one of whom told him that negative utopias do not sell. An addiction to drugs and alcohol were his mechanisms to cope with the unhappiness he felt with his life. The frustration he felt towards multiple rejections by publishers in combination with illicit substances caused him to mentally contemplate violence towards his own children. After so many rejections, King reportedly gave up and threw the manuscript in the bin. Luckily, his wife retrieved it and urged him to have another go. He eventually published Carrie, and writing became his new coping mechanism, and this is how the master author we know today grew to success. The biggest lesson these famous failures show is that everyone experiences failure. Whether you're currently experiencing some major setbacks or on track to skyrocketing success, your journey will be filled with ups and downs along the way. By repositioning how you view failure, you'll find it easier to overcome obstacles to achieve even greater success. What's been your biggest failure so far? How did you overcome it? Comment below.